Okay, yo, it's the minutes after. So we just finished writing today. It was I said 1:11, right?
Around 1:11 is when we finished. Yes.
Yeah, 1:11 p.m. And right now it's 1:18. So it's only been 7 minutes. So very easy writing day today. A lot of lore in this one. A lot of good lore. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's basically we just had two characters talking, and they're friends. So it flows very naturally to just. It's like a good opportunity when you build a big world to throw in some lore, but have it like fit the story and the context of the situation. So because they're friends and because they come from two very different places, they're going to be talking about like where you came from and how this started and whatnot. And this is a good time to do it. And it also throws in lore for our universe simultaneously. So it was a good way to do that. And yeah, what do you want to add, bro?
Me?
Yeah. Oh, we're still a little sick, by the way, but we're feeling great now.
Yes, a lot better. A lot better. For me, what's it called? For this conversation of lore, this one for me personally, this particular lore, I really loved writing. I've been wanting to write about this lore for a while because there's like this lore had like a couple of things we addressed. One of them was more of a newly developed lore, but one of the lore, Garrett and I had in mind like for a long time. I mean, like years, a long time. And I really want to talk about this one or like show it. We talked about it. Our characters talked about it in this case.
We had that idea for years.
Oh,
it has to be years. No, you're right. It has to have been. Yeah,
it was totally years.
No, you're right. You're right.
Definitely years. So yes, we had that one in mind for years, and I was very excited. I myself, when it comes to lore, Garrett and I have had in mind that we kind of had in my mind for years, and when we sometimes we just explain all early in a bulk. Yep. Sometimes we explain in pieces. Sometimes we save it way later, even though Garrett had in mind for a long time. This one we kind of explained partially, and then we finished explaining kind of right now.
Yeah, this one was one of the ones we explained in pieces.
Yes, one of the ones in pieces.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it in a previous episode, and now pretty much completed it in a much later one.
Yes. So for me, I always love completing the lores like that because
it's a lot less to take off the brain.
It's a lot less to take off the brain, but for also just a general good feeling. I just love hearing about our own lore we create because it's so cool, and I love it where it's shown our characters say it because I love when our characters show and express it. Also, another part for me. Now, I don't know if you ever knew this, Garrett, but for me, of course you probably knew this.
Yeah, we talk about writing all the time. I'm sure I know, but go on.
When we do our segments and we map it out and stuff like that, whenever there's our lore stuff, when there's a bunch of details to it, I always know we never should stay to the letter of it as like the specific order.
Sure.
So for me, and you know this, it's really hard for me to always. We have to reorganize it. Like if character says, certain things in this order, like A, B, and C, Garrett and I are like, you know what? I think B should come before A, and then A should go right there, and then it's good to end with C. An example, kind of.
What do you mean, like? I'm kind of confused. That's
what I mean.
Give me an actual character lore example. Use a fake lore.
Let's say a fake lore is a guy like lore's like red shoes are like made of gold in this universe, and the character says, I like how red shoes are made of gold. But we're like, oh, you know what? I think we should have a character say, I think it's very interesting how gold makes red shoes. How we gotta kind of switch up the order a bit, how they say certain things. I just mean particularly.
I'm confused. I'm still confused.
Well,
I'm still confused.
The reorganizing of a sentence.
I mean, I think I get it, but are you talking really just sentence restructuring? Because are you talking about in a sense of red shoes are made of gold in this universe. Character one says it, and this is the first idea we have when we're first thinking about it. We say red shoes are made of gold. We think of that in this universe. Boom, that's the first idea. Then another idea we come up with is also, but you know what? I want to make it that red boots are made of silver, and then we want to actually swap that around like that. Is that what you meant?
No.
Okay.
No. It really is for me, Garrett. It's probably easier for other people, and definitely is for you. When we write in the segments, I tend to think we're writing the segments, I'm okay with sticking that to the letter.
Oh, you meant actually what we wrote down in the segment. I thought you meant when we're just talking.
No. But now we're acting the characters. But I always have in back in my head, I kind of remember what we wrote down in the segments. Or I'm thinking to myself, what did we write in the segments? And then when you read me the order of how you typed it out in the segments, my brain just goes to thinking that I like this order. I don't need to change it. But I know that's like most of the time never true. We never stick to the exact order, especially when it comes to big, long, great pieces of dialogue about lore or character development. That's when we just have to act the characters out and go with the flow in terms of like, okay, we addressed that lore there, so let's erase it here and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I was bringing up that part. This segment for me, usually that's really hard for me. But today's one was a mixture of, it was really easy and also really tough. So that's why I had a particularly smooth time for me. It was nice.
Yeah. I'd have to say it was the easiest you've ever had with this, because it was pretty much the same way we do things. Brandon's right. When we write down our segments before we actually write in the screenplay, there is an order. Exactly what Brandon said. Red shoes are made of gold. Next bit of lore says, chimpanzee was the first man who ever made the red gold shoes. Then the final bit of line says, and the gold shoes populated the world for millions, or were manufactured in the millions.
Yes.
And then we
act out the characters.
We act out the characters when we get to the actual writing. And for some reason, when we're behaving as the characters, it comes out naturally to say now, millions of characters. The world has the golden shoes, millions of them. And what was the guy who created chimpanzee? That's right, chimpanzee. I wonder how he figured out they're made of red and gold. We just basically went reversed, but that does happen sometimes. But Brandon's right. He keeps in his head the actual order we put it in, which is very acceptable. But oftentimes it will change. And today that happened again. You're right with the lore, and I didn't even notice it because I'm very good at moving things around. They all look the same to me, so I can just place them anywhere. And that's normally difficult for Brandon. And the fact that he can actually, but it's also a good thing because sometimes I go too far with that. So I just want to express that both sides have their advantages and disadvantages, and that's why Bro and I are very complementary writers for each other.
Yeah.
And you're right. And today I sense that you didn't have troubles at all with that, because we did switch it up. We didn't switch too much, but we still did enough that would have been a bit difficult for you to follow typically, but it went super smooth. Super smooth.
No, I can't say it because spoils the story.
Yeah.
But there was a definite part. It was a small section in this segment. Yeah, I was. Can
you hint at it for me? I want to know what it is.
Actually, we've been talking about it so much, and we're talking about the gold and red shoes a lot. I'm forgetting the specific parts, but I'm certain it was a tiny part. A tiny part of this really great long conversation about lore. There was one tiny part, and I was feeling in my stomach and my head the usual Brandon part where I'm like, oh, we're kind of straying a little bit. It's kind of hard for me, but for me, I was just kind of like I was just loosening up right now, and it just felt great, and I was able just to keep rolling with it, and I'm just like it was a very fun experience this time for me, and it can only speak good things for the future because I like sticking to this formula, the system we've done when it works, but when you're just acting out characters, you can't help that stuff. They just start writing it for themselves.
I'm just trying to think about what that segment is. If you remember, you gotta tell me, because I don't think we'll have enough time to put in this. I mean, this will take up the entire video.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what it was.
No, was it that part? I can't exactly remember.
Whatever.
But yeah, so that's what I like to add about today's one, where it could have been. I knew going in, because we knew what this segment was. We read about it yesterday. I knew going into the segment, it was going to be a 50-50 for me. It was going to be really easy, or it was going to be actually really hard because of what we just talked about, the idea of shifting lore dialogue, how they talk about stuff. Thankfully, it was easy, and I'm very happy about that, and it was actually very fun. It was very fun. I love the long dialogue scenes. I love when just characters talk. It was very fun.
Yeah, I like dialogue. But that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
All right.